Happy pandemic. It's David Moudre, freelance gaffer and DP on the East Coast. In my shed, we're going to be talking today about lighting. First thing I want to talk about is actually the short film that I posted called Solitude. Probably nobody's watched it yet, and that's totally okay. But for those of you that have, I just wanted to break down some of it. The first thing was the bathroom is tiny. I had this idea for quite a while. I kind of had the shot in my head, the opening shot. I've been kind of visualizing for quite a bit. So that was lit with the Aperture Nova, which I put in the bathtub, as well as the 6-foot quasar tube crossfade that I put into a baby bee from Honeycrates. And that leads me to the main thing that I really kind of want to talk about with this shoot was how awesome the Honeycrates baby bees are, especially if you have tube lights in small spaces. Because tube lights in small spaces, generally the light goes everywhere and you don't really have any control over it. But with the baby bee, I was able to really focus that 6-foot bar light just to be on my shoulders, both in the reflection shot in the mirror, as well as it helped fill out the whole room in the wide master, in the first bright kind of shot. Because the bright shot was, the Nova was turned all the way up, and then I had some aperture lights lighting my face, as well as aperture lights outside of the door, shooting into, 2 MCs shooting into the wall to be a different color there. Yeah, and so that was kind of the bright setup. I used the kind of a white shower curtain to diffuse the Nova through, and it also bounced off the ceiling, and it kind of gave the whole bright ambient vibe. And then for when the cut happens, I hung blackout material over the shower to block all the light from the Nova, so it was just hitting the ceiling, and then I made it more of an, so that way the Nova could kind of control the ambient and kind of control the shadow color. And then from there, I installed a quasar bulb, a BR38, 2000 Kelvin, 15 degree in the center of the vanity fixture, so that it was this beam, this narrow orange beam of light coming down. So it's very dramatic when my character leans in, kind of when he gets to the mirror, when the camera goes over to show me in the mirror. And then, yeah, changed the color of the MCs outside the door for that as well. And then still had the baby bee and the quasar tube going for my edge light. It was just dimmed way down at that point. So, yeah, that was a lot of growing my hair out to make that dramatic transformation happen in that video. Oh, we just lost one of our battery-powered lights, but that's okay. We're going to keep going. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun to shoot. And small rooms in general are a challenge. If you have tube lights, buy some kind of light control modifier. I personally recommend Honeycrates. They were able to get me 6-foot versions because it's not a very commonly asked for thing. So I called them up and I said, do you have any 6-foot ones? And they were able to make some 6-foot ones for me. And I was able to buy 2 of those for my lights. So loving that. Also, I'm currently, now we'll move into the projects, the little demos I've been shooting over the last couple days here in the shed. The last one was similar to this setup. If you saw my Instagram posts about it, you can see kind of more of the breakdowns there. But I'm going to break down the stuff that I shot today, which is kind of the still that we're still set up for. And I think that was my 300D that just went out outside the window. That's unfortunate. Oh no, there it is. We found it. So we're going to break down what we've been shooting here today with the little scene that I shot. It was kind of an adjustment from the stuff from yesterday. But, so the light over here that's keying me now, that was providing kind of the base level ambient, is a 6x6 beehive, also from Honeycrates, with a 6x6 Honeycrate on the front of it to control all the spill, to keep this soft kind of directional ambient light coming from this way onto the character as they, as I walk in and sit down at the table. It's kind of just feel like it's light coming in the window that might be bouncing around the room or something like that is the motivation for that. And then I have the 300D Mark II out the window with the spotlight mount at about 50% coming in, and I've got haze in the room from my hazer so you can kind of see the beams. And then I've got a quasar bulb, one of those 15-degree spot bulbs, the 2000 Kelvin up there, kind of highlighting that little back wall. A nice something to edge me out so that my head doesn't just fall into darkness there. And then over there, we have another quasar bulb that I put a steel green gel on so that in the wide shot, you kind of have this different almost like a nasty fluorescent, even though I never turned the fluorescents on in here. I wanted that light to kind of just be enough to fill that shadow over there, because it's always better to light stuff and then grade it down, as opposed to just shooting it dark and then hoping to pull it up. It's going to be a muddy, noisy mess. So that light over there is mainly to help fill the shadows, as well as kind of what the haze in the room is doing to help fill the shadows as well. Yeah, and then I have the 4 MCs are over here. One of them just died. That's okay. But they were kind of set to a greenish tone to make it look like there was a fluorescent tube kind of under that little, up against the wall there, like there's a little nasty fluorescent tube like you see in movies like The Joker and stuff. It's always generally above a bathroom or in like in a warehouse or in a shed, in a shed. We're in a shed. So that was kind of the motivation there, and I wanted some color separation between the background and the light on my character. So I wanted to kind of get that nasty green tone, especially in the close-up when I cut to the wider shot when I open the box. There's a difference between what's the light on the side of my face and then the light on the front of my face. Yeah, and then in the stuff I shot yesterday, I did have a kind of a teal gel going on the window light there. It was more stylized for sure, and I ended up grading it blue. But that was just a choice. Main thing was for color contrast. And today I took the gel off and added the third color and kind of moved instead of a top light down onto the table, which is where I had this orange light originally with that quasar bulb. Yeah, it was just a little too harsh, and it was only 2 colors, and I wanted to kind of add a third color in, so I moved that to the back wall, and then using the MCs to pretend there's a nasty fluorescent tube kind of coming down onto my face. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something valuable out of this. If you have any questions, just leave them below in the comments, and I will hopefully be cranking out more content similar like this if you like. If there's anything else you want me to make or shoot or do or test with any of this gear, or if you have any questions about Honeycrates stuff, I have a bunch more videos coming about Honeycrates stuff, as well as my next video, which is going to talk about the Aperture Nova P300C. It's not going to be a review video. Everyone's done a review video. I'm just going to show you 3 or 4 ways that I would use it in a kind of narrative situation and some fun setups that I found with it. So until next time.